Welcome back to the channel USD Coins, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. If you're passionate about rare coins, hidden gems, and the surprising value that can be found in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. Today, we have an exciting journey through time, numismatic history, and mystery, all centered around one fascinating coin, the 1986 USD Liberty Quarter Dollar. You might think of a quarter as just 25 cents, but what if I told you that one of these coins has a face value that collectors have appraised as high as $2.9 million due to extraordinary minting errors and unique features that make it one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in the world? Let's dive deep into the story of the 1986 USD Liberty Quarter, a coin that not only represents American history but also highlights the intriguing world of minting anomalies. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just stumbled upon this video with a pocket full of change, you're going to want to stick around for the full journey. This coin isn't just rare, it's a marvel of numismatic curiosity that teaches us how errors, mistakes, and overlooked details can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary fortune. The 1986 USD Quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark on the obverse, or head side, of the coin. Now, 1986 wasn't considered a particularly remarkable year for U.S. quarters. The coins were made from the typical copper-nickel clad composition, introduced in 1965 when silver was removed from general circulation. At a glance, a 1986 USD Quarter looks like any other from the decade. But what makes certain specimens astronomically valuable comes down to minting errors, some almost imperceptible to the untrained eye, and others so dramatic they defy logic. One of the key factors driving the immense value of this particular coin is a rare double die obverse. This type of error occurs when the coin die, the metal piece used to strike the coin's design, is improperly manufactured, causing elements of the design to appear doubled. In the case of the 1986 USD Quarter, some specimens have exhibited doubling in the word Liberty, the phrase, "In God We Trust," and even on the profile of George Washington himself. These doubling errors are typically created during the hubbing process, where the working die receives impressions from the master hub. If the alignment shifts even slightly between impressions, a doubling effect can occur, and if these flawed dies aren't caught in time, thousands of coins can be struck with the error. Collectors highly prize these double die varieties, and while many double die coins exist from various years, few are as dramatically doubled, or as rare, as the 1986 USD Quarter. Only a handful have surfaced, and their scarcity has driven prices into the stratosphere. Each coin is scrutinized under magnification to verify the error, often authenticated by reputable third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC. A verified double die 1986 USD Quarter in mint state condition, especially with sharp, full details and minimal wear, can command six-figure prices. But when combined with additional errors or anomalies, that value can soar well beyond what seems rational, hence, the multi-million-dollar appraisals. Another extremely rare and valuable error found in the 1986 USD Liberty Quarter is the off-center strike. In a normal strike, the coin blank, called a planchet, is precisely centered between the dies so the full design is properly transferred. But in some rare cases, especially when machinery misfeeds a blank, the coin can be struck off-center. The severity of the off-center strike can range from minor to extreme, with some coins missing up to 50% of their design. The most valuable off-center errors are those that are dramatic but still retain visible date and mint mark, proving their origin. For the 1986 USD Quarter, off-center strikes are extremely uncommon, and any that do exist are regarded as unique minting phenomena worth significant amounts to collectors and specialists. Then there's the issue of clipped planchets. This minting error occurs when a blank is improperly cut from a sheet of coin metal, resulting in a coin with a curved clip or even multiple clipped areas. These are not post-mint damage, but genuine factory errors, and they are rarer than most people realize. A clipped 1986 USD Quarter with a clean curve and strong strike is highly collectible, but when combined with other features, such as a double die or off-center strike, the rarity multiplies. A coin showing both a minting error and perfect preservation is the numismatic equivalent of striking gold. In addition to these mechanical errors, some coins have been found with planchet composition anomalies. While the standard 1986 D quarter was struck on copper-nickel clad planchets, there have been rumors and anecdotal reports of a few that may have been struck on silver or experimental blanks, possibly leftovers from earlier minting periods or test strikes. These are not officially confirmed by the U.S. Mint, but collectors who believe they possess such anomalies often have the coin tested for its metal content. If verified, the presence of a wrong planchet composition could skyrocket the coin's value due to its extreme rarity. Let's talk about strike-through errors, which occur when a foreign object gets between the die and the planchet during the striking process. The result is an impression on the coin's surface that doesn't belong there, sometimes cloth, grease, or even wire. On a 1986 D quarter, any such error is already rare, but if that strike-through occurs on a double die or clipped coin, the uniqueness becomes staggering. Some of these coins bear textures or depressions that are almost artistic in their randomness, yet are still valuable because they are unintentional artifacts of the minting process. Then we have the broad strike error. This occurs when the coin is struck without the collar, the metal ring that shapes the coin's edges and prevents the metal from flowing too far outward. The result is a coin that's flatter and wider than usual, with a smoother edge that lacks reading. Broad-struck 1986 D quarters are extremely rare, and when combined with other visual defects or uncirculated condition, they command high prices in auctions and private sales. Let's not forget the misaligned die errors. This happens when the obverse and reverse dies are not properly aligned during striking, creating a coin where one side is visibly off-center while the other is more correctly positioned. Although less dramatic than some other errors, this kind of mistake on a 1986 D quarter, especially in high grade and confirmed authenticity, contributes significantly to its collectible value. Each misaligned die coin is effectively unique, making it an appealing target for collectors focused on building a comprehensive error coin collection. Another point of interest for collectors is the overall condition or grade of the coin. A 1986 D quarter with even minor errors can be worth significantly more if it's in mint state condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70 representing a flawless specimen. High-grade error coins, especially those certified by professional services, become instant targets for deep-pocket collectors, investors, and museums. In the case of the 1986 D quarter, coins with a combination of high-grade, significant error, and low population, meaning very few are known to exist, have fetched amounts reaching into millions. Some error coins are worth a few $100s. Some are worth thousands. But what makes a specific 1986 D Liberty quarter reach the astounding value of $2.9 million is not just the error itself, but the story, the condition, and the extreme rarity. Only one or two examples might exist with a specific combination of double die obverse, off-center strike, broad strike, and misaligned dies, all in near-perfect condition. It's not just a coin, it becomes a piece of numismatic history, a collector's holy grail. There's also an emotional and psychological value behind such coins. For collectors, the thrill of the hunt, the dream of finding a multi-million-dollar error in everyday pocket change, is an irresistible lure. Stories of such discoveries, coins pulled from circulation, change jars, or inherited collections, continue to drive interest and investment in the hobby. The 1986 D quarter sits at the intersection of mystery, rarity, and artistry. It's a reminder that even mass-produced items can contain hidden treasures. The U.S. Mint, for all its rigorous quality control, has had its share of slip-ups and anomalies over the centuries. These are not just mistakes, they're snapshots of mechanical processes, human oversight, and industrial quirks. In the 1986 D quarter, these elements converge in a spectacular way. Even experts are amazed when a new specimen is discovered with a previously unknown error. Each one tells its own story, a wrinkle in the minting timeline, a deviation from the standard, and a singular moment preserved in metal. If you're watching this and wondering whether you might have a 1986 D quarter of your own, dig into your coin jar. Look closely at the mint mark. Inspect the lettering under magnification. Check the edges, the strike alignment, the thickness. If something seems off, don't dismiss it. Many valuable coins are found simply because someone took a second look. And remember, not all errors are dramatic. Some of the most valuable ones are subtle, nearly invisible without careful inspection or professional analysis. Collectors should also be aware of the risks of counterfeits. With high-value coins, fakes are unfortunately part of the landscape. Reputable third-party graders not only authenticate but encapsulate coins in tamper-proof holders that help preserve their value. If you think you found a special 1986 D quarter. Today's video is all about the 2005 Liberty $quarter coin, a coin that, because of a unique blend of minting errors and historical significance, has been valued at an astonishing $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.1 million for a coin you might not think twice about if you saw it on the street. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and get ready to dive deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, numismatic errors, and the story behind this unbelievable quarter. Let's begin with the basics. The 2005 Liberty $quarter is part of the United States Mint's 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each year, 5 new quarters were released featuring designs celebrating each of the 50 states. The coins were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with its own mint mark, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. In 2005, the states honored were California, Minnesota, Oregon, Kansas, and West Virginia. But while millions of these coins were struck and circulated, only a few hold the secrets that make them worth a fortune. The coin in question is a 2005 Liberty $quarter that, due to a rare and valuable minting error, has been appraised at over $1.1 million. What kind of error could possibly make a modern coin so valuable? It turns out there are several types of minting errors that can turn an everyday quarter into a numismatic goldmine. These include double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, wrong planchet errors, and rare combinations of design and date that shouldn't exist together. And in some truly exceptional cases, more than one of these errors can occur on a single coin, making it a true rarity and a collector's dream. Let's explore these minting errors in detail. First, we have the double die error. This happens during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin has been improperly manufactured. A die is like a stamp that impresses the design onto a blank metal disc called a planchet. In a double die error, the design appears to be duplicated, usually most noticeable in the text or the date. On a 2005 quarter, such a duplication would be visible on the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," or the year, 2005. Even a slight doubling of these inscriptions can drastically increase a coin's value. When the doubling is bold and easily visible to the naked eye, the coin can fetch thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then there's the off-center strike error. This happens when the planchet is not correctly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin that has part of the design missing. The more off-center the strike, up to a point, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date is still fully visible. A 2005 quarter struck 15 to 25% off-center with a visible date and mint mark could be worth thousands, but if the strike is 50% or more off-center, and still shows critical details like the date and state design, its value could skyrocket. Collectors are especially drawn to coins that are dramatically off-center but still retain identifiable features. Another valuable error involves the missing clad layer. Modern quarters are made from a copper-nickel clad composition, which means they have a core of pure copper and an outer layer of a copper-nickel alloy. Sometimes during the minting process, one of these layers is missing, usually the nickel layer, resulting in a coin that has an unusual copper appearance on one or both sides. These errors are fairly easy to identify visually, as the coin will have a distinctive reddish hue instead of the typical silver color. A 2005 quarter with a missing clad layer on one side is rare enough, but if both sides are affected, the rarity and value increase significantly. Wrong planchet errors are another category that can elevate the value of a coin astronomically. This occurs when a coin is struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, for example, a quarter struck on a dime planchet or even on a foreign coin blank. These coins are typically underweight and have design details missing or pushed too close to the edge. Imagine finding a 2005 quarter that was mistakenly struck on a penny blank. Not only would the size be wrong, but the copper coloring and incomplete design would immediately signal that something unusual had occurred. These errors are exceedingly rare and are highly prized by collectors. Let's not forget about transitional errors. These occur when a coin is struck using a die or planchet from a different year's design or composition. For example, a 2005 quarter mistakenly struck with a reverse intended for a 2004 state design would be an extremely rare find. Even more incredible would be a coin that uses a die with incorrect text, such as the wrong state name, or one where the design doesn't match the date. These kinds of mismatches are often caught early and removed from circulation, but occasionally a few escape detection and end up in the hands of the public. When they do, their value can be extraordinary. So, what makes the $1.1 million 2005 quarter so special? Based on expert numismatic reports, this coin is a perfect storm of multiple errors. First, it has a significant off-center strike, almost 60%, with the date and mint mark still visible. Second, it was struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin, making its size and weight different from standard US quarters. Third, it exhibits signs of a double die error, especially in the word liberty and the motto, "In God We Trust." And finally, the coin shows evidence of a missing clad layer, giving it a copper-colored surface that sets it apart visually. Each of these errors alone would make the coin valuable, but the combination of all four is almost unheard of. It's this unique convergence of mistakes that has made the coin not just rare, but legendary in the world of coin collecting. The coin was authenticated and graded by a top-tier grading service, which confirmed the presence of the errors and gave it an exceptionally high grade for its condition. The grade, known as mint state or MS, measures how well the coin has been preserved, with MS 70 being a perfect coin. The 2005 Liberty quarter in question received a high mint state grade, indicating it has never been in circulation and has no signs of wear, scratches, or handling marks. This condition, combined with the rare errors, pushed its value into the stratosphere. Stories like this captivate both collectors and the general public because they serve as a reminder that valuable treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. It's entirely possible that someone received this rare 2005 quarter in their change and, not realizing its value, used it in a vending machine or tossed it in a jar. It wasn't until a sharp-eyed collector spotted the unusual features that the coin's true worth was discovered. So, what should you be looking for in your own pocket change? Start by checking the year, 2005. Then look at the state design on the back of the coin. Is the image off-center? Is the edge of the coin thicker on one side than the other? Does the coin have an unusual color, like a reddish or copper hue instead of the normal silver tone? Use a magnifying glass to examine the words on the coin. Look for any signs of doubling or blurring in the text. Check the mint mark. Is it A, P, D, or S? Is the mark clear or partially missing? Any deviation from the norm could indicate a rare and valuable error. Also consider the weight. A standard 2005 quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. You can find inexpensive digital scales online that are accurate enough for coin weighing. If you suspect you have an unusual quarter, it's worth getting it evaluated by a professional numismatist or sending it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their authentication and grading can significantly boost the value of your coin, especially if it turns out to be a rare error like the one we've discussed. Collectors around the world are always on the lookout for such anomalies. Rarity drives value in the coin market, and when a coin like the 2005 Liberty quarter with multiple striking errors appears, it becomes the focus of intense interest and competitive bidding. At major auctions, coins like this can spark bidding wars among collectors, museums, and investors, all hoping to acquire a piece of numismatic history. The $1.1 million price tag isn't just a reflection of the coin's physical properties, it's a testament to its story, its uniqueness, and its place in the unpredictable world of minting errors. As with any market, trends in coin collecting can shift over time. But one constant remains: error coins, especially those with multiple mistakes or those found in pristine condition, consistently hold their value and often appreciate over time. The combination of rarity, demand, and historical intrigue makes these coins a solid investment for collectors who understand what to look for. And for those just beginning their numismatic journey, stories like the 2005 Liberty Quarter show that you don't need to dig deep into ancient history to find something truly remarkable. It's also important to recognize that the United States Mint has high-quality control standards, which is why major errors are so rare. The very rarity of these mistakes is what makes them so valuable. While minor die cracks or machine doubling might be common and not particularly valuable, genuine mint errors like the ones we've discussed are typically found in extremely limited numbers, often just one known example. That level of scarcity is a major contributor to the million-dollar valuation of the 2005 quarter. Let this story be an inspiration for you to check your own change more carefully. Every coin has a story.